Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the 210 Stockyard. I'm Xavier, your host, and as always, my co-host, Cody Boyce. Say what's up.
What's up, everybody? How you doing?
And behind me, guy on the chair, Richard. All right, so season's almost over, man. Week 9 just happened. We're actually, don't worry, folks, we're not going to go over the whole game because there really wasn't much to really discuss, unfortunately.
Not at all.
Sorry. But we do have a lot of Brahma news or UFL news to bring you. But let's just go ahead and look into the game real quick. Let's just see what happened. Just to appease the fans.
Yeah, we got the game. We got the game.
Yeah, so another Friday night lights game for us. And I was honestly surprised that they look at that.
Dude, that number 25, what was he thinking right there? Like, he barely left his feet. If you watch this in slow motion, he barely leaves his feet. Didn't even get close to intercepting it or blocking it.
Yeah, protection all day, too.
And then,
yeah, that was Max Duggan to Jakor Pearson. So they're a pretty good tandem there. I was surprised that they kept Duggan in for half. The first half, I thought he'd play a series or two, maybe a quarter, but they kept him in the whole first half.
Yeah. He just wanted to prove that he could whoop our butt, and that's what he did.
Again, Corbin was the whole offense. He did great. Again, can't complain about his gameplay. But unfortunately, Brahmas didn't pull it out, and I think that makes this loss a little bit more embarrassing because they played Duggan, St. Louis did, for the first half. And then they bring in their backup, Silvers, who was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
And, yeah, they didn't miss a beat. I mean, yeah, St. Louis just beat up on us, so.
Did you hear what the attendance was for this game?
No, I didn't even pay attention to it. I'm pretty sure it was one of their lower attended games.
Because they're playing us.
Yeah, because they're playing
man.
us and they're already in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Save our money for the next games when it matters.
Yeah, and this was I think one of their backup running backs just fucking tearing through us. So
Yeah, we got ran through.
yeah, so if anybody didn't watch the game, you didn't miss much other than an ass whooping.
Yeah, yesterday while I was at work, they had the replays going on while it was really busy. I wasn't really paying attention. I just noticed that it was on while I was going to one of the theaters. And my boss was like, "Is it a different game than the San Antonio game? Because they were getting their butt whooped. It was really embarrassing." I'm like, "Yeah, I know. I watched it the other day." He's like, "Oh, that wasn't live?" I was like, "No, it was not.
That was a replay.
It was a replay of them just getting their butt whooped. Why do we even have that on here? I don't know."
In case you forgot what an ass whooping looks like.
Yeah, well, let's replay it for you.
Look at this catch, though, man. High pointed it over Steele, who is a good safety, and yeah. But that's pretty much how the game went. So.
Yeah, they did everything they wanted to against us, and we couldn't stop it.
Maybe next year, guys. I don't know. We're tanking for Arch.
Yep, tanking for Arch, baby. Yeah, Arch
tanking for somebody.
Getting the first round pick of next year, and it'll be Arch doing his little UFL to NFL,
Mm-hmm. So the final score on this game, Richard, do you remember what it was? Yeah, it was like 33 maybe or 36.
Return for a touch.
Oh my God.
Well, here, let's.
I guess we'll watch it happen again. But yeah, the final score was 33 or 36 to 13.
Oh, oops. I mean, yeah, 39 to 13.
39 to 13. And he does a backflip.
He does a backflip. I didn't see that before.
Are you fucking kidding me? All right, we're out. That was a good episode.
Yeah, we're done. I'm out. God. Okay, no more highlights.
Getting a fever and leaning into your fever.
On 3rd and 11.
Fading in and out of sleep.
Four-man rush. Duggan winds up.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, we saw this already. Where was that fumble return for a touchdown? Yeah, here we go. Now we're back here.
Now, by the way, that fumble pissed me off because the coach didn't challenge it. And if he would have challenged it, the guy recovering the fumble would have been down by contact instead of running it all the way back. But
yeah, he's touched right there. And then, but yeah, that's the thing too. The coaching right now just seems very odd because they're making very dumb decisions. Their clock management is the poorest I've seen out of any team.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a 180 or 180 completely from last year.
Yeah, I mean their performance, their record, coaching. I mean it's this. I don't know what you would call that other than an odd year or a one-off.
Well, I mean we can only find out if it's a one-off. We'll see.
It feels like everyone in the league got better in every position or in every facet, except for the Brahmas. They just brought back half of the previous year's team and thought it would be enough. Obviously, it wasn't. So I really hope now, since it looks like we are going to get that #1 pick in the draft, I don't know. We either need. I
We
think
need a quarterback.
We need a quarterback.
Need a quarterback.
I think above all else, we need a quarterback.
We need to work on our offensive line.
I'm so sorry. Yeah, we need a quarterback for sure, and then after that, work on the O-line.
Yeah, 100%.
So yeah, but we're apparently getting the #1. Worst case, the #2 pick. So we can only wait and see how that goes. But yeah, I'm kind of done with this game, so we can move on. Although we'll end on a good sack right there. That was cool.
Yeah, we got the sack. We don't need to talk about anything else
alright with
anymore.
All right, so moving on. Brahma-related news. This episode will be just a lot of interesting things that happened.
And more news than just
more news and headlines. So first headline that was trending 6 days ago is the coaches from both the #1 teams in the playoffs are a little upset, and rightfully so. Yeah, so the #1 teams going into the playoffs will not host a playoff game, a home game, because for whatever reason, scheduling conflicts. I don't know if it's just the UFL didn't try very hard, but yeah, DC doesn't get to host. Instead, they got to play in St. Louis.
That's
So
I mean, and the only reason that they're going to give you is because they have the best attendance, and it's going to get them the most money.
I mean, sure.
And I get it.
I get that too, but I mean, come on, man, be a little bit more fair, more partial to their records. I mean, it kind of does suck that the two teams with the better league, with the better records, aren't hosting their first playoff games. They're playing away.
I mean, it's been a very bizarre year for scheduling as it is.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we start off the year with 4 straight
road games.
Road games, yeah. And we didn't get a home game until week 5.
So thoughts, other than from St. Louis fans and Birmingham fans, like, what are your thoughts on, the two top teams not getting a home playoff game? I kind of think it's bullshit.
100%.
That's how this league is sometimes, so... maybe let's fix that, UFL. Let's get better at scheduling next year.
Yes. There's a lot they need to get better at. The post-game press conferences.
Well, I don't want to shit on them the whole episode, but this in particular, especially because there's only 1 week left in the regular season, which is next week, and then the playoffs start, and we already kind of have drama.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to call that. It's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, no, it's 100%. 100%.
Thoughts, Richard, guy on the couch?
They're getting better, and there's things to hope for.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Speaking of getting better, all right, let's segue or transition. So, for people who were still on the fence on if Spring League is here to stay and if the UFL has any longevity, here's an answer for you. Now, I know he's not an A-lister anymore.
But he's a name.
He's a celebrity. So
it's
Nelly,
getting hot in here.
So take off. Yeah, okay, anyway. Nelly, who is
put on more of my clothes.
He's from St. Louis. If you don't know him, maybe the younger generation doesn't know him. He was, pretty popular, I guess, when I was in high school or out of high school.
Same.
This dude wears a Band-Aid on his cheek for some reason. But anyway, Nelly, the rapper and artist, signs a deal with the UFL and St. Louis to create his own clothing brand line. What is it? Do we know what it's going to be called?
The Lou.
The Lou Collection in St. Louis.
The Lou.
I'm from the Lou.
Saint Fly? Or is it
STL?
What does it say? It's like Saint... Ooh, that's way too zoomed in.
We got to find a way to make fun of them for sure. But, I think that just goes to show that people are taking interest into the league. They're putting money into the league. It's drawing more celebrities.
He'll promote it.
Yeah, he will promote it. So if the team doesn't, if the UFL doesn't, at least Nelly will promote it. He's got the funding to do so.
And I'm sure he's got a handful of followers still on all around his social medias and everything. So, any kind of publicity is good publicity. To be fair,
it would be great because they already announced that the championship game is going to be in St. Louis.
Have him as the halftime.
Have him as a halftime show, man.
He'd do that.
Yeah, that'd be a pretty decent halftime show for the. I'm down with that.
100%. It's better than nothing. It's better than just. I don't know did they even do anything last year? Was it?
They had some kids playing flag football.
I don't know. Oh, hey, hell of a halftime show.
That's cool too. But yeah, so Nelly getting a new brand with the football team. He may even do what Tom Brady's thinking of doing. So let's move on to
Segue
that. Yeah,
into
segue.
Tom Brady.
So, and by the way, most of these headlines, I'm obviously stealing. I'll give credit where credit's due. I do follow this page if you guys don't. The guy's name is Mike Del Negro. He's officially the XFL analyst online.
Heck yeah, Mike.
Yeah, so I get a lot of my, I guess, breaking news from both him and James Larson out of PFN News. So these two guys, if you're not following them, for me, they're my best resources for news. So shout out to the XFL analyst. Yeah, I'm using a lot of your graphics, buddy. All right, but back to the headline. Tom Brady apparently is interested in being a UFL team owner. He's already a small owner of the the Raiders?
The Raiders.
Yeah, in the NFL, but is apparently interested in being a full-blown owner of a UFL team, which I love.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
Again.
Put it in Oakland and is that an I'm sorry to the Oakland.
Oh my God, that would make sense too. Now we're gonna talk about this in a minute, but it would make because Oakland went to Las Vegas. Richard, you fucked me up on that one.
If you didn't hear him in the back, he said he should start a team in Oakland as just kind of like bringing a team back to Oakland from the Raiders going to Vegas and everything.
And just keep Oakland in the back of your head. But so Tom Brady, though, wanting to be an owner, I think is probably the best news that I've heard as far as longevity for the league.
Yeah, it's a name.
It's a big name.
It's a big name.
GOAT. I mean, again, even if you hate him, you can't deny that.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, with him again being, I don't know if he still is. I think we were talking about this earlier. If he's still doing color commentary for was it Fox?
He was commentating somewhere.
But even then, that.
What?
That's the whitest color commentary I've heard of.
Well, yeah, no, he's a commentator, and I think his first commentary was a UFL game. They gave him that to practice.
Yeah, it was the first game of the season.
It's kind of sad to say, but yeah, it was his practice run.
But with someone like Tom Brady, again, it's a name. So even if he's doing the analysis of another game or anything like that, it's very easy for him to bring it up. Be like, oh yeah, I'm the new co-owner of the Oakland blah blah blah, or the Vegas, blah blah blah, or just whatever team he owns. And so it's like, and then that's him saying it there, and then that is like, oh, people are like, oh, Tom Brady owns a team. What is UFL? Let me check in. And then it's just a snowball rolling downhill, just gathering momentum and just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. The more any names we get that people know, and then they just say anything about the UFL, we'll automatically get more butts in the seats. And at the end of the day, I think until it becomes a substantial league, that's what we need.
And that reminds me, I should have mentioned this when we were doing all our prep. I was watching ESPN Saturday morning.
Okay.
And on their top 10 plays for the week or weekend, the UFL had 2.
In the top 10?
Yeah, in the top 10. They were number 4.
Heck yeah.
And number 1.
What was the number 1 play?
It was like a fucking bobble one-handed catch from Birmingham.
I missed it.
We could try to pull it up later, but I love though seeing that on ESPN. I'm watching hockey, baseball highlights, and the top 10, and all of a sudden I'm seeing I think it was Luis Perez throwing to Tyler Vaughns for a touchdown, and then a Birmingham game for Deion Kane.
You got 4 plays better than that? Let's see what the UFL has to offer. Renegades and Showboats. Kind of ironically, it's Arlington Showboating against the Memphis Showboats. Tyler Vaughn's juggling catch on the sideline. Renegades win 30-12.
Your top play in the UFL, Michigan Panthers taking on the Birmingham Stallions. Jamar Smith looking for Kay Johnson. Ball goes off his fingers and off the defender's helmet and into the hands of Johnson. A little bit of luck on that catch as well. The Stallions would win it.
Now, getting back to Tom Brady.
Sorry.
That's funny. It's just something kind of silly and funny. It's just like my dad humor, I guess, coming out in me. So the UFL is a league of opportunity, right? Like players go to this league in an effort or a chance to get back to the NFL. Same thing with coaches. This could be the first-time coach. A lot of first-time coaches here are trying to get their big break to become a coach in college or the NFL. So it's not just for players and coaches. And now it's also for owners, because here we have Tom Brady wanting to be an owner.
He's going to prove himself in the UFL.
Yeah, so he can this would be his dry run, or I don't know what you would call it, his prototype run. with the UFL team as an owner. Like, hey, look, I did really good with this team. Now I can own an NFL team. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens.
I mean, to be fair,
And
if
referees too, by the way. Referees also go to the UFL and chance to be kept, be
Yeah.
a ref at a different league, a bigger league. So, all around, league of opportunity.
it's got to be for every single position there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like the cameramen for ESPN, the audio people. Like it's probably all your like
Hell,
people
even the
trying to get
commentators.
jobs in the best positions up at like Sports Center, or up at the NFL, NBA, and stuff like that. They have to go up the ranks. You can't just get that job unless you know
Unless you know
have,
someone or have money.
or
Yeah.
you did a lot of college. You just know what you're doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But for the most part, if you're just trying to earn your way up, heck, go to UFL. There's probably plenty of opportunities in plenty of different areas. So
Yeah, totally agree. All right, so cool stuff there. All right,
hell yeah.
what do we got
Don't like
next?
Tom Brady, but go Tom Brady. Get a UFL team.
Okay, so I'll throw this out there real quick just because we are a Brahma channel and most of our viewers are Brahma fans. So a little bit of bad news right before the regular season ends. And this is strange too because most of these happened, I think, right before this weekend's game. So anyway.
So 2 games left.
Yeah, with 2 games left, the Brahmas decided to release 3 players. We got rid of here, as you can see, wide receiver Justin Smith, Stu, a.k.a. Stu. I mean, he wasn't like our number 1 receiver, but he wasn't like a bench warmer. You know, this guy was productive, competed. But we got rid of him. I'm not exactly sure why. I follow him on social media, and it's not like he ever had a negative problem or he wasn't one of the guys that was partying, before a game. He was committed as far as I could see.
I guess you just never know.
So that one was a little hard to swallow. This one's a little bit easier to understand. We released running back John Lovett, who was an awesome running back last year. Was our starter at the beginning of the season, but got hurt game 2, game 3, and has been on injured reserves ever since.
McFarland went ham.
Yeah, and then McFarland went off, and then he got injured too. But so John Lovett, by the way, though, just because he's been on IR for 70% of the season, I could see why we let him go.
Yeah.
Especially with us still having McFarland and then Corbin and seeing that we had a pretty good running back room.
Yeah, Corbin's doing amazing.
I could see why they were willing to part ways with John Lovett. So, yeah, sorry to see you go, man. And then the other one was defensive tackle Savion Patton. Now, this one was tough. He was, I think, one of the most liked guys on the team by the rest of the players. A lot of the players have said that he's the most outspoken of the team and can get everybody, like riled up. Like, he was a leader. So I'm not exactly sure what caused him to be released, especially again 2 weeks before the season ends. But yeah, we released Savion Patton.
Dang. And it's just a bummer that happens at the end of the season, too, before the season even ends.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's got to be a terrible feeling knowing that you're on the worst team and then you get cut from the worst team. So
yeah, and you were a leader on that team, and so
yeah, hopefully their careers go in, and they get picked up somewhere else and they can continue their journey.
I think all 3 of them will. Yeah, but just a little strange. But so that's the Brahma news. All right, let's try it. So if you stuck around for the whole video, this was This was the meat of this episode, and I'm sure there's videos all over the place. I may even do a deeper dive into this. But the UFL, 2 days ago, filed 4 new trademarks, and I'll read them off here. We have the Oakland Invaders, going back to Tom Brady. The Tampa Bay Bandits. We've been in Tampa before.
And then Tom Brady.
Yeah, Tom Brady, too, in Tampa. So, I mean, him being an owner is looking more. That conspiracy theory is just starting to. I could see it snowballing there, or whatever the term is. But they also filed a patent or trademark for the Philadelphia Stars. I don't know how you feel about that.
With them having the Eagles already, a Super Bowl winning team, you may get fans in the seats for just football. But for a city that already has an NFL team, I don't think that's a good idea.
I don't think it's a good idea. I mean, because you look at Dallas or Arlington, who's got a team, and then Houston, who's got a team.
Yeah.
And
Tennessee Titans and the Memphis Showboats.
Yeah, I would rather see these UFL teams expand to cities that don't already have pro football.
Agreed.
So
Agreed. That's why Oakland. I mean, Tampa Bay. Because they also have the Buccaneers.
Yeah, but I mean, San Antonio, obviously, we don't have a pro team.
Yeah, we don't have anything. And I mean, we're the second leading,
in attendance.
in attendance. So I mean, it's kind of shows. So
And then St. Louis, who had a team but lost it.
they were hungry.
Yeah, they're
for
hungry.
football.
Yeah,
That's
so-
why I think Oakland is a good idea.
So, and that brings us to the last team that they filed a patent for, the New Jersey Generals. Now, if I'm not mistaken, they were already a team in the USFL previously, and maybe back in the 80s or 90s when spring football was happening, and I hate to bring it up, it was one of the teams I think that Donald Trump was trying to buy and then fuck people over with what he did. You know, but the Generals, I want to say were in. I'm sorry that I don't know this. I just didn't follow USFL. I want to say they were a more prominent USFL team back in the day. So it looks
Okay.
like they may be making a comeback.
That'd be awesome. I mean, to see old teams come back would be pretty cool because it'll bring back fans of the previous teams.
Yeah. And so all this is happening because when the UFL formed, when the XFL and USFL merged to make the UFL, part of the collective bargaining agreement that they had to make with the U.S. government was that they would expand the league. They wouldn't just stick with 8 teams. They have to make, I think, wow, man, was it 16 teams? It may have been 12. They did have to agree to bring on new teams, and that's what's happening.
Okay.
So next season, we are going to have 10 teams instead of 8.
Okay.
But
which will be awesome.
But I think what's going to happen here is they're going to rebrand the 2 worst teams. So automatically Memphis. I think Memphis is on the chopping block, especially after their attendance from this previous week's game.
Yeah.
They only had 2,000 people in attendance. But there was a weather delay, which I understand.
Yeah, true.
The game was set for 11, and then it didn't actually happen or start till 3 p.m. So I think most people that were there at 11 just said, fuck it.
Yeah.
I mean, I would too.
You're waiting for 4 hours, and then, or if you leave and then you want to come back, yeah, it's too much.
But consistently, Memphis has had the worst turnout, and I think even the worst TV ratings. Like, they just don't have a fan base. So
Yeah.
I could see the Memphis Showboats being gone. Like, so they're not, they won't be a team anymore, not even a logo anymore. They may rebrand them to be the Tampa Bay Bandits, or I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think Memphis is gone, and I think Houston might be gone. I'm not sure.
And they do have the Texans and the Roughnecks, so yeah, it'd be one that should move, to be fair. But we'll see what happens.
I would rather that like Oklahoma got a team.
Yeah.
I'm really disappointed in Birmingham. It's Alabama's team because they don't have a pro football team. Yeah, they have Alabama, the college team, but they're in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah.
So yeah, so for a city like Birmingham that doesn't, or like even Alabama doesn't have a pro team.
I don't believe so. No.
Wow, no. There's nothing really happening there, and then to have
Like
a
even
pro
basketball.
Yeah,
and
no, but I mean,
baseball.
it is pro. The UFL is pro. It's not on par with the NFL, but it's still a pro league. And the Birmingham Stallions have three-peated. So to have a pro team and a pro championship dynasty team and not have
The number
the
one
turnout, yeah, that's kind of crazy to me. Like, what are y'all doing down there? I thought y'all liked football, but I mean, you're about to lose your team. I don't know. Step up,
Yeah.
Birmingham.
Come on. More butts in seats.
I would have liked San Diego.
That
But-
would be dope.
Yeah,
San
Oakland.
Diego would love to have a team, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, after losing the Chargers,
Yeah.
I think they want the Chargers back more than anything.
That
But
makes sense,
But
yeah.
if you were to create the San Diego Lightning or some shit like that and create like something similar, because like with the Oakland Invaders, I see that as almost like they would do a kind of like Raiders Pirates kind of thing. So like if you did a San Diego Lightning or a San Diego electricity or just some dumb
or
shit.
even just bolts.
San Diego Bolt. I don't know if they could use that, but I mean probably.
Maybe like,
It's the San Diego Ron Burgundy's mustaches.
oh my god.
Wrong
But I was
Burgundy.
if they do something like Oakland Invaders to Raiders, that to me sounds more like a G League or development type thing.
See, NFL's is one of the only leagues that doesn't have that. By the way,
Not yet. You get Tom Brady involved.
could you just imagine that? It's like someone is not performing. Like in the NFL, you say like Colt McCoy example kind of
Yeah.
thing. He came into the league.
That talk last week, X.
Yeah, we did. I think we were talking about Colt last week.
Yeah, put Colt in, and then it's like Colt's not doing well, so it's like send him down to the Brahmas, and have him be their quarterback first season and watch him just,
Or a better example, Max Duggan,
Max Duggan,
who
yeah.
was drafted by the
The
Chargers,
Chargers.
was with them for a year, and is now in the UFL.
And he's undefeated as a starting quarterback,
Yeah, in the UFL.
which is impressive.
But yeah, so I mean, it definitely has the potential to be.
Do you think that would be a good idea if they became the G League for the NFL?
Yeah,
Okay.
because then that would mean you can now have 32 fucking UFL teams.
That'd be fucking insane.
That would be insane. I mean, that's a lot of talent to stretch out too, but I think it would take over like the Canadian Football League. It would take over the CFL.
The Arena League.
And we would also stop losing talent to the European leagues, the ELF. Yeah, they're called ELF. European League of Football, which does steal American talent or spring league talent. So and again, if you're under the brand or umbrella of the NFL, who's gonna fucking beat that, dude?
Nobody.
And we get football after football or before football, because after the Super Bowl you get spring league, and then after spring league it's college and like NFL again. So I'm down to have year-round football, man. I'm okay with that, and it opens up more. I don't know, like Hard Knocks, YouTube channels. I mean,
Hard Knocks UFL would be insane.
It would. So I'm just like, I'm I don't know what I'm talking about, but yeah,
You're talking some awesome stuff to me. Hey, UFL people, if you're paying attention, I know you're watching.
But yeah, and then don't forget with these teams that when the UFL started, they also have the patents for the it's in Ohio,
Canton.
the Canton Bulldogs, and was it the Tennessee Tuners or something like that?
Yeah, which is another Tennessee team
Yeah,
that probably isn't needed.
Let's stay away from Tennessee. But the Tuners, they still have the patent for that too, so that could be a team. And
Tennessee just gets dumb names.
well, I was just about to say, and by the way, Tuners, Tuners. It's meant to
musically, like
it's a music note or like a music. I don't know. It's music related. So yeah. So and again, because Memphis or Nashville country music, that's where they were going with that. I hate it, but they patented it, so they may actually intend to use it. I don't know.
now you patent one, and then when you get it, you can change it to pretty much whatever you want.
Yeah. So I mean, your thoughts, viewers. I mean, where do you think teams should end up? What two teams? Because I do think we're going to rebrand two teams, and if that happens, what two teams do you think are on the chopping block? Where would you like to see them go? Oh, and Seattle.
Seattle would be a great
Seattle's
place.
still in play. They had the Sea Dragons for the first year of the XFL. They did really good.
Seahawks and the Sea Dragons.
Yeah, but they actually did well in Seattle. But because of the merger, they couldn't keep them. Now they can bring them back. Do we see the Sea Dragons come back?
I want the Sea Dragons back because their symbol looked like Trogdor.
Who's Trogdor?
Trogdor was a man. No, he was a dragon. No, he was a dragon man.
Are you making this up?
No, later on when I show you the Trogdor video, it's exactly what it is.
I guess just search Trogdor if you want to know what it is.
All right, but that was the biggest news I think coming out of this weekend. Yeah, I'm already excited for next year. I'm excited for the draft, which we're gonna get an early pick for.
First round pick, baby.
Yeah, and you know what? Now I don't know how that's gonna work because if they introduce two new teams, where do they fit in the? I think the newer teams get
and are we gonna have to give some of our players away?
that, or they get priority. Like even though we were shitty this year, we may lose the first and second round pick to the two new teams.
It would be this year something like that would happen to
like
us
another way to
because
fuck
of-
over the Brahmas
because of how much random stuff to screw us over this year
I
happened
said
with
it
the
out
home
loud.
games.
I said it out loud, so it's probably gonna happen. God damn
Let's end it quick. It's not recording.
it. I'll cut that out. But yeah, so that was again more headline stories, more news. Not too much to recap, but anything else? We will be at the last game, by the way, which is Sunday. I'm actually gonna probably do face paint along with the brown paper bag.
I'm down.
We'll see. But no, so excited for the season. This season to kind of be over with already, just because it was bad for us. But Happy to see the playoffs. Very excited and curious
Yeah,
to see what's going to happen with
I'm
next year.
still looking forward to the playoffs and the championship game.
Oh, for sure.
The only thing is, I don't want Birmingham to win.
No.
Anybody else? I'd love to see St. Louis win. To be perfectly fair, you know,
I think my favorite going into this is actually Michigan.
Michigan.
Yeah.
Michigan would be good. I would have preferred Michigan last year with Bates because Bates was like killing it, and he made I think he kind of upticked the UFL a little bit just
and
from
he's
himself,
which is crazy for the kicker to
exactly.
do that.
And the same with De La Haye, by the way. But we can talk about that another time.
Where are you destroying?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
You watch YouTube videos over here destroying?
I don't think he's on the injury report. I don't think he's been.
You know where he was though? He was at what's his name's wedding.
Oh, he was at Travis Hunter's wedding.
Travis Hunter's wedding.
Yeah.
I saw that on Instagram, and I was just like, "Oh, he's doing everything but caring about the UFL." Unfortunately,
I think he's done. And to be honest, I think I am too. I kind of don't.
It was a fun experiment. He did get to kick a field goal or two.
It was cool, but I'm totally okay if he doesn't come back or if we don't sign Deestroying next year. I said it. I'm sorry. Guys, he's a cool person. He's a cool personality. I still follow all his stuff. He's a cool podcaster, but in terms of being an actual committed player,
I think he's too distracted.
Yeah, he's way too distracted, and
He's distracting.
yeah, he's
his new nickname, Deestracting.
Deestracting.
I
Right,
love
I get
that.
it. But yeah, so I'm okay if he's not a Brahma next year. I appreciate you trying, but if you're not going to commit. Just keep doing you, man. I mean, you're doing great with the YouTube.
100%.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's all you need to do.
Yeah.
I mean, and this is going to be a kind of a fucked up thing to say, but in 2 UFL seasons, he's been injured twice for the whole season. If that's the case in the UFL,
and early,
there's no way he could get breathed on by the wrong NFL player. He's out for a career.
Yeah.
So it's like. He probably had someone on his end just being like, we should probably rethink you being a football player for how easily you're getting injured.
Yeah, but the first year injury I get because he fractured his neck tackling someone stupidly. But this year he pulled a groin.
And then disappeared.
Yeah, and then just disappeared. Missed a game-winning kick. Says he pulled his groin, and then just, ghosts. They were like, peace. Gone.
Haven't seen him since. Not in a uniform, nothing.
Yeah.
So it is what it is, but that can be the last little bit.
Yeah. So it's a little bit of a tangent there, sorry, but do appreciate you guys sticking around, watching.
Yes, thank you.
Please like and subscribe if you're not already. If you made it this far, why not? Go ahead and hit the notification tab. That way you become alerted anytime a new episode comes out. And as always, horns forward.
Horns forward, baby. Go Brahmas. All right, rock and roll.
A sea dragon logo? It's a sea dragon. Yeah.
You spelled dragon wrong. This is Trogdor.
Hold on. Let me just put it on YouTube.
Is he saying Ragnar?
He's saying Trogdor.
Sounds like Ragnar.
Shut up.
I just said Trog.
Trogdor?
It's right there. Trogdor the Burninator.
The burner? Oh my God. This is too epic.
Trogdor was a man. I mean, he was a dragon man. He was just a dragon.
Holy shit.
Blue and green tea.
Cow pie.
It's called cow pie.
No. Tastes like it though.